It's Tatchpod time. Maya Acosta, joined today by Greg Garrett, and we have our city engineer, Andrew Norton, and our public works director, Don Marsh, with us as well. So welcome, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. So we are all joined here today to talk about some upcoming projects for this year, some projects that are already going on, and also some infrastructural improvements, new asphalt, new pavement. And so we're just excited to kind of get an overview of what's to come. So jumping right in, Greg, I know that this has been a project that has been in the work for, over a year now with the taxiway relocation project?
Right. So, yeah, we have a lot of projects like you said, this summer that's going to be happening. But let's start with a project or two that we've been working on for some time. So you'll remember we received almost a $7 million grant from the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, to relocate our taxiway and then improvements to the drainage in the airport. And so we're finalizing that now in a couple weeks, I hope, knock on wood, right, Andrew? But we're really, really close. We're 95+% complete. And when that's done, it's going to be just marvelous. So great project. Don't you think, Andrew?
Yeah, it went pretty smooth thanks to, the consultants and the contractor that completed the construction.
For sure. Yeah, and the FAA was kind enough to ship us that money, and we're very appreciative of that. And the next one, F Street Bollard. So, Dawn, I know that you've been working with our Public Works crew, and we're trying to make downtown as safe as possible, right, with parades or farmers markets or festivals. So let's talk about the bollard installation that's going to be happening this summer.
Yeah, we've been installing bollards every year for the past few years to really make our special events a lot safer when we have to close streets. And this is just a continuation of that. We're installing some at F and Curry and then at F and Robinson that'll allow us to really isolate F Street there, those 2 blocks of F, during special events when we have car shows down there or Apple Festival and those kinds of events. And it just really makes the events a lot safer rather than just put up a couple barricades and hope nobody drives around them into the event. So
that's right. So I remember a couple years ago you designed and we installed bollards in the Green Street area. So we have farmers market and the different events there. But as we grow into a festival city and we have parades, we thought, we need to go do this because you don't want to be looking back and think, I wish I should have done that.
Yeah, we've all seen the news and of those types of accidents that happen, and we don't want to be one of those cities that experiences that. So this is a great addition.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
And so jumping into projects for this summer, Maya. So I don't know who wants to talk about this, Dawn or Andrew, or maybe both, but we have a lot of paving projects coming along. Almost $3.8 million budgeted and planned. We'll see. We're out to bid now, and we'll hopefully come in under bid, if you will. You always hope for that. No, not over, but a lot of projects. And on the north side, Andrew, what's happening over there?
Correct. Yeah, we will be paving H, I, and J streets and the cross streets. And then, as we've done in years past, we'll be taking the grindings, which are the waste product from the pavement operations, and placing those in the alleys to resurface all the alleys on the north side as well.
And I know, so that will bring us essentially on the north side of the tracks, brand new streets, brand new asphalt, curb, gutter, sidewalks. We started with Pioneer Park many years ago, but we're essentially a brand new neighborhood over there. That's really exciting.
Correct. Yeah, we paved Green Street a few years ago, and then we did the railroad crossings a few years ago as well. So.
That's right. It's spectacular. And I know there's private investment that's happening, Maya. People are like the bodega, the wine bar is, West Lane and people's homes, there are just a lot of businesses over there in the Airport Industrial Park. And so we're really happy and proud that we can do that work.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to see the transformation of that neighborhood after we do the asphalt work because it really will change the look and feel of the entire neighborhood.
Absolutely. Yeah, job well done. So I know another project that we're working on this summer is repaving Denison Road on the north side also, but over by WM and the event center, right, Don?
Yeah, that area over there takes a lot of beating from the waste management trucks, and as far as I know, I don't think that section of Denison has ever been paved. So it's in horrible condition.
It was probably paved originally.
Well,
right. That was probably the first and only.
A couple hundred years ago.
But I'll sneak in another project that we're working on in that same area, and we're doing this in-house with our Public Works crew, and that's some fencing. We actually bid that out when the fencing contractor is hired. Same post and rail as Tehachapi Boulevard, but we're going to be doing some landscaping there also by the Event Center entrance monument.
Yeah, we're excited about that also. The frontage there along the event center is going to be kind of getting a whole facelift, installing 3-rail fence all along there, and then we'll be installing new irrigation and trees and shrubs all along there, and some new gates at the monument entrance there. So that'll be a huge improvement to that area. It looks pretty shabby right now,
Yeah.
but over the next few months we'll be working on that. And a great combination, we'll be using a contractor, like you mentioned, to do the fencing work, and then the irrigation installation and the plant installation, the grading and everything will be done with our in-house public works crew. So we have a fantastic, highly skilled landscaping crew for our public works department, and they'll be working on that over the next few months.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm excited about that. You know, we were, as of this recording, Maya, we have bad weather this week and next week also. So the bollards and the landscaping kind of on the shelf for now. We have to let it dry out a little bit.
Yeah, funny. Both of those projects were supposed to start today, and it's snowing, so
Yeah.
not doing that today. But we'll be sneaking in as much time as we can as the weather permits. But we'll take another run at it probably tomorrow. We'll probably do some work starting tomorrow, and then moving forward as the weather allows.
Yeah, for sure. And then, Andrew, I know that Denison Road, also on the south side of Tehachapi Boulevard, but from the boulevard to Georgia, we're going to be repaving that also.
Correct. Yeah, it's going to keynote pretty well with the ATP Denison project that we're finishing up here this spring, and then we'll go through and repave everything that wasn't paved as part of the grant-funded project.
Yeah, that's going to really kind of button that up. Actually, there's another project in the queue for next summer, maybe, with some sidewalks and things on the east side. Am I right?
West side, south of the
Sorry.
school.
Yeah.
To tie in from the high school to Pinion. Yep.
Right. So if we're lucky, that'll be late summer, maybe next year, but that's kind of in the queue, Maya.
Correct.
That's
And that should finish up the Denison corridor
Right.
from the high school.
Right. And then also Curry Street, C Street as in Charlie, to Valley. So I know that area has been degrading. We actually paved it and did some repairs several years ago, but that's also failing, and the curvature has changed a little bit, or it needs to be corrected, if you will, Don.
Yeah, so we did do some patching there a few years ago, just to get us through a few years, and here we are a few years later and ready to do the whole thing. So that's a complete tear out. That'll be a major project from C Street to Valley, and we'll be changing the profile of the road there a little bit to help with some of the storm drainage there when it rains, and then also the block between Valley and Curry and Clearview Street. That section there is in pretty rough condition, so we'll be grinding that out.
Yeah, big project.
repave
So
that.
will you be closing that road and probably detours in place, or will there be one-way traffic? How's that envisioned at this
We
point?
haven't really looked at the traffic control plan, but most likely we will be closing that section of Curry. We've done that in the past, actually, in 2 occasions, and the traffic impacts haven't been that bad. There's plenty of other ways to route around there. So most likely we will be closing that section of Curry. Yeah.
Right. I know you just had a snippet, but Valley Boulevard, Curry to Clearview also. So it's going east from
Yeah,
the
just
intersection
just
there.
a couple blocks there of,
Right.
of Valley.
That area has been patched and repatched and cut. It's like Grand Central Station, Maya, for all the utilities and things. Kind of like out Denison and Valley, where we found a fiber optics. Thank God we didn't cut it, but not we, the contractor, but it should have been in a different place than it was, right? Andrew?
correct.
Yeah, that can raise the hair on the back of your head real quick.
You never know what you're going to find. when
You
start
never
digging.
know, right? So some exciting things happening, but also Valley Boulevard, and this is a big one, Valley Boulevard Beach to Tucker, and that's going to finish out that repaving.
Correct. Yeah, we're waiting for Caltrans approval to get that project out to bid. It's a 2-inch grind and overlay similar to what we did the previous cycle along Valley from Curry to Beach. So this new project's picking up at Beach and heading all the way to Tucker.
That's going to be so nice because a lot of people use that road every day. And there's such a difference between what we did last year and what has been there for many years. You know, lots of potholes and different things.
That'll really finish off that corridor nicely from Tucker all the way to Curry. And it'll be all new asphalt there.
That has to be over a mile in length total, huh?
Lane miles, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Correct.
Very cool, very cool.
Craig, can we talk a little bit about, obviously you had mentioned that there's about, $3.5 million worth going into these projects, the repaving and new asphalt and things. Where is some of that money coming from? We know that Measure S is a huge part of making these projects a reality, right?
Yeah, Measure S is the sales tax increase that the voters approved going on 3 years ago. And that has allowed us, Maya, to provide matching funds or in some cases, fully fund an asphalt paving project. So I know, Andrew, you use a lot of acronyms, RSTP and, this and that and this and that, but maybe you could talk about how that all works and where the money's coming from in addition to the Measure S, because we're able now with this bigger budget to do more work, right? And that's really investing in our infrastructure.
The Valley Boulevard paving project is an RSTP, which is a regional surface transportation project. So it's a paving project where we have 11% match. So the Kern County Council of Governments gives us the 90% from the feds, and we have to cough up the 10% match. But the Measure S is what makes that possible.
Yeah, you can only fund so much of the matching funds, whether it's 5%, 10%, or even more. And then we do the engineering, and sometimes it's in-house, sometimes it's farmed out. But that's time and money also. And then the inspections, everything that goes into a project is pretty complicated, really. So let's talk about a couple other projects that we have in the queue. The BK Theater expansion on the backside. So now, Andrew, we have a local contract that we awarded the bid to, and they're building now. I saw they poured footings the other day. But talk to us about what's happening.
Yeah, it's a small staging area off the back of the theater. Relocating, it sounds like a number of their cast, they have kids or numerous kids trying to stage outside, and it becomes interesting during the plays in the evening. So this gives them a bit of extra space and dressing rooms and that kind of stuff.
We're really happy that we could provide that to TCTA, Tehachapi Community Theater Association. The city of Tehachapi owns the BK Theater, so we're investing in the public assets there. So that's really exciting. When do you think that'll? I want to put you on the spot, but that's coming along, and it's basically just a shell, a box. So a couple months, 2 or 3 months.
It all depends on weather.
Yeah, that's always
how much it snows.
That's such a good answer, right? Weather. Yeah, it's going along fine though. And then up at Warrior Park, Don, I know that we have some exercise equipment that was donated to the city by Tehachapi Valley Recreation Parks District that it was unused. So it's outdoor exercise equipment. And so we have designed and we'll be installing that equipment at Warrior Park here soon this summer, I hope.
Yeah, that's going to be a great project also. We have 4 exercise stations located around Warrior Park that will be installing multiple pieces of exercise equipment at each station. So it'll be kind of a little route that you can do around the park there with exercise locations that you can stop and do some pull-ups or, do an exercise bike or various different types of exercising equipment around there. So we'll have some concrete and have these pieces of equipment installed around the perimeter there, and you can do a jog or walk or whatever you want.
So it's going to be adjacent to the existing sidewalk. So you'll be placing how many? 6, 8? Do you know?
I think each location has 4.
3 or 4, yeah. It's 10 or 15 pieces of equipment over 4 stations.
Okay, so a little outdoor gym, really.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. I mean, it's right there at the end of the Antelope Run, too. So if you're going for a bike ride, walk, or run down the Antelope Run, you end up in Warrior Park. You can do your workout and head back.
That's awesome. Right, yeah. And it's actually works out well because that little loop there around the park is just almost exactly a quarter mile. So you could, do a couple loops around there and do some exercising in between. And then you're right, hop on the trail and head back downtown or back down to Walmart or wherever it is that you live.
So we'll see you on the trail, Don?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just sit there and wait for me. You'll see.
No, I will sit there. I'm going to be jogging around doing the exercising, right? Me and Andrew and Maya, we'll see you there.
I'll be on my electric bike.
All right. Well, listen, we were talking earlier about our Public Works landscape crew, and we're going to be doing some refresh to Railroad Park. We've actually already started. We had Brightview Landscaping, which is our contract landscaping company around town. They helped us trim some trees and remove some old trees. But in addition to that, we're going to be refreshing Railroad Park. So why don't we talk a little bit about what's happening there as we speak?
Yeah, as you said, we kind of cleaned up the trees over there a little bit. We took out a couple that were really struggling or mostly dead, and so we took those out and trimmed up all the other ones, and now we're going to be installing some new trees. We're going to be getting some real big box trees in there, that not something that's 2 or 3 feet tall. These are
so something that like Steve
trees.
Wynn buys for Vegas when they build a new casino, that size, or
Almost that big. Yeah. Maybe
okay.
not quite that big,
All
but
right.
almost.
Okay. No
Yeah.
palm trees, though, right?
No palm trees.
Just pines, yeah.
We actually be bringing in a crane to lift them up, so that gives you an idea how big they are. These will be pretty good size and good partnership or a cooperation there between us and Brightview. Brightview is going to be actually planting the trees because that's kind of more their expertise with using the crane and getting them set. But we'll be digging the holes, we'll be adding the amendments and working with them to get those trees planted. Again, we're just waiting for the trees at this point. It should be, in the next month for sure that we should have those planted. And then we'll be doing some other miscellaneous upgrades there with some of the plantings up against the fence on the back side of the park, and doing some improving some of the lighting and those kinds of things. And the new trees will also have outlets and lights up in them. That we're gonna put some string lights up in the new trees.
They look nice.
Yeah.
Look really nice. I think that park was built in the late 70s, early 80s. Actually, Congressman Ketchum, I think was his name, helped the city obtain that property from the railroad. We lease it. We don't own it. But it was built by volunteers. And that was, really a nice thing to do for that era. But now it's overdue. We need to really upgrade it and make sure it's safe and even more presentable because it has worn a lot. We've spent some money and time on it the last couple of years, but it's time for kind of a refresh, if you will.
Yeah, we'll be doing some irrigation improvements, and the irrigation system wasn't really designed the way we would design it today.
Right.
And so we'll be doing some improvements there when we plant the trees and
Make it
few other
efficient for
things.
our guys and, to maintain it and save water and all those things.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have a lot of other projects that we're working on. We won't elaborate too much, but, of the rock pile, some new communications center up there, hardening the communications for public works and police and those sorts of things, and many other things. But that's really a good list for. Did we miss anything, Don or Ty?
I do have an update on Valley Park. We do have a top net now on Valley Park.
Oh, right. So the five-a-side. Tell us
Yep.
about that. How's that park going?
It's busy. It's very busy. We were hearing from the neighbors that a lot of balls were ending up in their backyard, so we went ahead and ordered and had installed a top net now, so the soccer field's fully enclosed.
That's so cool. I'm so proud of that park, and I'm really, really proud of the young men and women that use it. They have been very, very respectful. That park is just used like crazy, and the damage and those sorts of things just not happening. Knock on wood, right? But they're self-patrolling, and I really appreciate that.
Yep. It's a great park, a great asset. And I guess one thing, not officially like on our projects list, but the pickleball courts will be getting a little bit of upkeep here soon too as well to keep that great new asset going. Right, Don?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a few things over there, actually. Now that you mentioned it, there's a little bit of warranty work going on from the contractor who did the construction originally, that some of the posts or all of the posts for the netting, there's going to be some improvements there and repairs made. But we're also going to be doing some refreshing a little bit on the painting, the asphalt paving, that painting that has gone down. And we're also going to be installing some shade structure there in the waiting area. So
That'll
that'll
be
be
nice.
a great improvement for that park.
For sure.
Courts.
Courts,
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Coming, for the summer when it gets nice and hot and sunny.
Yeah.
And I heard Andrew, he loves pickleball, right? Every day after work, he zips over there. And
You too,
At
Greg.
least, at
Yeah,
least a game or
me
two,
too.
you know?
Yeah, I don't think that any of us are quite as big as pickleball aficionados as Key, who's sitting here. But
Mr. Budge, he's Mr. Pickleball.
yeah, but it is great to know that you are also a pickleball pro, Greg.
That's what I'm told. I don't know. I have to prove myself, I suppose.
Well, this is awesome. It's great to hear about all the projects that we have in the works and lots of exciting stuff coming this summer. New pavement, new projects all across the city. So great stuff. Thanks for coming in, Don and Andrew.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks so much.
It's been a good conversation.
Yes, and thank you, Greg.
Yeah, always.
And to everybody listening, if you have any questions or comments about any of these projects or anything happening within the city, you can always email us, media@tehachapicityhall.com, and we'll get that directed to the right place. And as always, thanks for listening, and we hope to catch you back here next time on Tehachapi Pod.